Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. And keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand how this practice can help for us to develop our conventional understanding regarding our day-to-day life, and at the same time, how we can gain our spiritual success. Because what you practice is always going to become your foundation for your inner understanding. So especially when it comes to Buddha's teaching, when it comes to Buddhism, there are certain things that you have to understand as a foundation. It doesn't matter whatever the practice you do. You may practice meditation, or maybe you do chanting, or maybe you do puja, or maybe you do ceremonies. You like to attend to festivals, or maybe you don't want to attend to this any public events, but still yourself, you every day keep praying or doing some activities related to teachings. But somehow always you have to remember fundamentally that as Buddhists, what we need to do is, rather than reconstructed, rather than this reconstructing the life, we have to deconstruct the life. So reconstruction means that we always thinking and planning and trying to build up our life, always interfering to do things and keep adding, keep adding. Deconstruction means, so whatever that in our mind as mental formations, habits, anchors, thoughts, patterns, whatever we already develop, slowly you have to get out of it. So this reconstructing mind develop according to fixation, grasping, and another thing is developing concept. So this is very important to understand. So developing concept, because the life itself kind of like a concept. you always have concept regarding self-centered mind and the self with the self-centered view. So this concept and the grasping or fixation develop a kind of like a nest around us. We are kind of like a fish caught into a nest. So it's another way, we are kind of like a person get into a trap. So get out of this is a skill, because you can't fight with or you can't resist with the world. You can't escape from this, but still there is a way you can get out of this trap or you can get out of this nest. So what is the method to cut this net? That is what called the right view. So fundamentally, it doesn't matter whatever you do, you have to have the right view. Otherwise, your meditation, you can name it as a tranquility or the vipassana or your puja, your ceremony, your festival, your offerings, your dana, you can name it. But if you don't have the right view, that all is kind of like just an action. It's become kind of like useless to the journey of this Nibbana. For it is another path towards the life or the samsara. It's nothing wrong that if you doing dana, you doing good things, and you gain good result. And then you keep going with it. You can have a good life, but for how long? Because just only you cannot have a good life. How about other people around you? Just imagine in a family, if you're going to have a good life, that all your family members going to have a very miserable life, what will happen to you? You are in big trouble. So, even though you do good, that doesn't mean you're going to be safe in the samsaric journey. Because according to the necessary cause and conditions, according to the environment, things can change. But still we need to keep doing the good things. But the very first thing you have to remember, to get into the right view. And once you have it, so whatever you do, and slowly keep close to that right view. So there are many teachings about the right view. And take some time and start to understand about it. It's mainly about suffering and according to your understanding, be very clear about it. And at the same time, that even though we talk about the Nibbana from this conventional mind, we need to understand this behavior of our day-to-day life. So when it comes to mind, has a way that we behave with it. So we perceive we perceive the perception, and at the same time we perceive this all the perception and experience it with the deceptive mind. This is a very important thing you understand. So deceptive mind means that you hold into inaccurate thoughts or unhelpful, the distracting impulse. And it's a kind of like it all this the nature of deceptive mind, it always take you away from the truth. So that is this conventional mind. So we perceive things. Just imagine if you perceive the world through this inaccurate mind, and if you think about the Nibbana even with this inaccurate mind, so then what will happen? And you think about the Dhamma, you understand the Dhamma, even what will happen? It's going to become wrong. So that's why you need meditation. Because when you practice meditation, it will help you to get out of this deceptive mind. You can't do it just by thinking, because thinking process also very byproduct of your deceptive mind. That's why. And when you come to tranquility state, when you calm down the mind, when you don't go with your thoughts, so once the mind settles down, that is where you are capable to really recognize this conventional truth. So that is what available for us. So in the very first level, you have to access to it with very clear mind. That is what it called in tranquility state. You recognize things as it is. So when it comes to conventional truth, there are two kinds of truth. Valid conventional truth and invalid conventional truth. So what is the valid conventional truth? So the valid conventional truth means that just imagine moon in the sky that you can see, and it's like a full moon day. All the people come out and see it as a full moon. Everybody agree to that. So even though we all agree to it as a full moon, it is conventional. It's conditioned by the ideas. Why? Because it is not a full moon. It's a half moon that you can see as a full moon, but other side you can't see. The way you look, the way we can see it, it look like full moon, so then we accept it. That is one of the very nature of conventional truth. So what is the invalid conventional truth? like the moon in the lake. Just imagine in a sunny day, in a dark, in a like a full moon day. So if you go to a lake, kind of like a very calm, quiet place, that you can see the reflection of the moon. It's useless. It cannot do anything. So it is invalid. It is truth, but invalid. So there are many ideas in us, our imaginations, and some of our fear, some of our anger, hatred, jealousy. Most of that arise with this invalid truth. Just imagine that you can sit and think about your future. You want to start a business, then you want to buy a building, and then you want to hire people, and 100 people, and not enough, then 200 people, you buy them, and then you become the chairman or the CEO, and then you start to run the business, and then you keep developing it. By the time you get tired and maybe you lose your money, and then you file bankruptcy, and then you give up. It's just 5 minutes that you go through the whole drama in you. But still you're sitting in your chair, and maybe you lying down on your bed, and you already start the company, you already file bankruptcy. Invalid truth, but it look like real. We live with that. So this is something that we have to be very careful, even when it comes to conventional life. And another thing is, this conventional world, the conventional truth hold by the function, that whatever function give us a kind of like a character to it. So then just imagine that horse. So 100 years back, they used to use this horse to travel. And it was a conventional truth. So then by the time people invent these machines, and then now you buy the car with the horsepower, not the horse. And then people keep the horse at home and feeding and spending money, take care. And every day you go and look, and you become so happy, you touch it. And sometimes you kiss, you hug, and you feel so comfortable with that. And then you can say, I have a horse. See that? 100 years back, the function of the horse was totally different. But now, when you buy the car with the horsepower, and this horse, the function change, and now it's going to be just a kind of like a pet. It's just kind of like an animal stay with you at home. Maybe you have a horse, but you don't know how to ride. And just imagine then you have a kind of like a computer. the old one, desktop computer with that big screen. And then you take it to another country and they don't know what it is. And maybe they can use it to sit as a chair. So this function creates some conventional truth. And beyond that function, it becomes an invalid truth, like the money. Money is a conventional truth. In that circle, if you can function it. But sometimes, of course, the dollar has a value all over the world, but there are some other currencies. Like if we bring Sri Lankan rupees to here, American bank and try to change it, they don't want to get it. They don't buy it. But in Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan rupees have the value. So it is a conventional with the valid truth. But when we bring that to America, it becomes invalid truth. So like that, the environment that we live, we think this is important, that is important. So like that, actually it is the function. Bring that. So another example, if you live in the far away from the ocean, and sometimes you need the air condition. But most of the people who live close to the ocean, and sometimes they don't need that. So see that environment bringing some kind of function. So like that, most of the things we believe, oh, this is important for me. But if you look very carefully, that if it cannot function, it becomes something, and that function give us identity. And you can use this as a table, and at the same time, just imagine you take this to another country and they can use this as a ladder. They can use this as something else. So that's why this functioning ability create your conventional truth. So once that function not there, even though it is in the same pattern, same shape, with the same name, it become invalid truth. So another thing, when it comes to this body, so when you have the mobility, and if you have abilities, if you have the strength and balance, flexibility, and if you have the consciousness, your breathing work, your heart, your brain work, you are live. People will accept you. People claim as, oh, this is mine. People will love you. People will hate you. People will criticize you. People will appreciate you. You know, and even you yourself, you believe this body is mine. Why? Because it functions. See that function creates validation. So that value bring the truth to you, valid truth. And then just imagine the same person And once that even the mobility is there, flexibility little bit there, balance strength is still there, but if the brain doesn't work, so that is why nowadays, if anybody, how they decide the person die, if the brain doesn't work, if the brain dead, they say you are dead. So then you are not function. If you are not function, you become invalid truth. Anymore, if somebody bring your name and tell, or bring him a lunch, bring her lunch, or give him this, give her that, no one going to do that. Anymore, your name is not function. See that? But it is conventional truth. And other thing is, so that is why function bring this conventional truth. It can make it valid or invalid truth. And the third method to understand this conventional truth is always connect with something and the result come with, this is very important to understand what is the conventional truth. It all is that whatever the result that you gain, it all depend on cause and conditions. There is no any result going to appear without any cause and condition. So then anything, whatever you gain, just imagine, if that whatever the result you gain, if it is the outcome of cause and condition, then that is belong to conventional truth. And at the same time, that even though that outcome, even it is a cause and conditions and the outcome is there, and that outcome, if somebody accept, or if the society accept as it is, it's going to become a valid conventional truth. If the society or one person or the society don't accept it, even though it arises from the cause and conditions, if the society not accept it, then it become invalid truth. So that is where the culture, tradition, believing system all exist. So you can, even though it is a conventional truth, at any time, you can make it invalid truth. Society can make. And time to time. That is where you can bring some new ideas to the society, and you even though in the history people used to keep doing things, and sometimes anymore people don't want to do that things. It become an invalid truth, conventional truth. So once you recognize this around us, the most of the things that we accept as a nation, just imagine that in the ancient time, sometimes there were countries like India and Pakistan. So in the ancient time, that both countries used to be as a one country. So then it's conditioned by the idea, and then everybody accept it. And then what happened? And they separate. And then now they say we are Pakistan, we are India. So now the society don't want to accept the old version. So it became invalid truth anymore. North Korea and South Korea, the both Korea, but North and South separate. So like that. And country, nations, kind of like Euro countries, European Union, and even in day-to-day life, our cultural activities, and some kind of religious practice. This all, even though it exists in the moment, even though it is conventional truth, that conventional truth also sometimes can become invalid by the time. So those are things that you have to understand. There are two kinds of truths: conventional truth, ultimate truth. So in the very first level, that whatever the ultimate truth that we try to understand here, right now, right here, maybe not the real ultimate truth, because this all we understand by deceptive mind. So that's why in the very first level, we have to have tranquility state before we go into the critical, analytical, logical understanding. First, we have to get out of this deceptive mind. So that's why when once you have the right view, it will help you to have the right tranquility state. Once you come to this right tranquility state, the very first level, before you go into the ultimate truth, you are capable to recognize this conventional truth. So what you can recognize, because in this conventional truth also, two things: valid conventional truth and invalid conventional truth. So once you are capable to separate this both, it will help you to understand and withdraw from this conventional level of mind. That give you more clear understanding about the life you experience. And that is where your mind get out of this net, or the kind of like a fixation or grasping, or kind of like this conceptual mind. And once you have it, that whatever the perception you perceive, anymore not going to experience by this deceptive mind. That's what we call direct perception. Once you come to that level, you are capable to see things as it is. And once you have that understanding, will show you the very clear ultimate truth. It is not the ultimate truth that what we think today, grasping this thinking mind. It is more deeper we gain through our experience. So that is why this tranquility practice is very necessary, but not for everybody, for some people. But as a background for newcomers, or practitioners to have a more clear understanding. I hope this will help for you. So when it comes to that, always remember, again and again, develop your understanding regarding the right view. Keep it as your North Star. So with that, let's get into practice now. So bring your attention to your body, your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So scan head to toes yourself 3 times and say Supatveva, oh, may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, the stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Being Suva, frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. And to your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light to spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. Also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ettavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.